Hi guys, welcome back to the Mighty Blues. My name is of course Cameron. Play ratings then after Everton 1, Southampton 1. A game where we were absolutely dreadful in the first half and not much better in the second half, to be perfectly honest with you. How we got the equaliser at the end of the first half, I'll never know. A piece of magic by Sharla saving us once again today. And like I said, the second half wasn't much better. It was moderately better because we didn't concede, but I think that was largely down to the fact that Southampton's sort of energy level dropped a little bit and they matched our energy levels, which are genuinely very, very low. I just want to start by saying the first half for me was a 1 by pretty much everybody. I'd say Luca Dean, Richarlison and Anthony Gordon were probably the only players that deserved a higher rating than that. Everybody else was utterly atrocious. We just got Southampton just pinged it left, right and centre. Their passing was on point. The play through the midfield, like I said in the instant match reaction, they clearly watched us against Tottenham and thought, you know what, all you have to do is run at these in the midfield, pressure them when they're on the ball. Don't give them any space, run at them, use urgency, use energy, and you know you'll break through them easily because that's what they've done. But obviously the play ratings are averaged across the entire game, so we'll go into it. Jordan Pickford, I've given a 7. Don't think he done anything marginally wrong, to be perfectly honest with you. Again, a couple of situations where your arse is in your stomach with him, but again, nothing massively wrong. You know, the goal, I don't really think you can blame him too much on. Yes, he probably could have got a better connection, but it was a little bit of a scrappy goal to concede anyway. He made the decent save from a corner, which come off him, then come off the bar, then come off him again. And again, I thought it was an average performance by Jordan Pickford. A couple of opportunities where he's probably passing the ball out when he shouldn't be and when he should be hitting it up, but I think that's more of a tactical thing than him. So I've given him a 7. Luca Dean, I've given him an 8. Thought he was one of the best players on the pitch in an Everton shirt today. Really positive going forward. Obviously provided the assist for Richarlison's fantastic goal. Brilliant ball through. Absolutely bypassed the midfield, which for me is what Luca Dean and Seamus Coleman likely on the other side that I've got to do now. Unless it's Anthony Gordon running through, don't even bother giving it to the midfield if you want to create an opportunity, because they're just not creative enough whatsoever. And Luca Dean seen that, bypassed the midfield completely, put a long ball across. It was a fantastic touch by Richarlison and a really good finish. So again, defensively, he done okay. He got caught out a couple of times, but so did the entire defence pretty much. But again, going forward, he was a lot better today. And he was probably one of the only Everton players that looked, you know, dangerous in creating something for us. Michael Keenan and Keenan, then I've given them a 6 both together. Again, I thought struggled at times. Southampton broke through us far too easily and found it far too easy to get in key areas. And there was, you know, a couple of opportunities in the first half where they were getting shots away. And, you know, I think Keenan put in a good block at one point. There was an opportunity where I think it Shea Adams from a shot from Nathan Redmond, I believe. But again, as a whole, the two centre-backs done okay. The goal we conceded probably could have been a little bit better, but the play was just too quick for us. We can't keep up with that. We just cannot keep up with that intensity and that fast tempo of a game, because our midfield, for a start, cannot keep up with it, and that means the defence are left under so much pressure because, you know, in 1 minute the ball's they're knocking it round, Southampton are knocking it round the defence, and the next minute it's on the edge of our box and they're creating an opportunity. And whereas the defence should be confident in knowing that the midfield will deal with at least some of that, if not stop the attack whatsoever, at least make a foul or do something, it's become quite apparent that the midfield are really ghostly and may as well not be there. We may as well play with 6 defenders and 4 attackers or vice versa, because it's non-existent. It really is non-existent, and I think that caught out the both centre backs at times. But overall, he done okay to keep hold of the ball and ultimately to throw their bodies on the line at the times when they needed to. But like I said, there was a couple of occasions where I think they were caught out. Coleman, I've gone for a 7.5. Again, I think he had an okay game. Obviously wasn't as good as Luca Dean because he didn't provide an assist, but done okay down that side of the pitch. I think when Carlo Ancelotti brought Jabril Sidibe on, it gave him a little bit more defensive cover and allowed Seamus to play a little bit freer. But again, he done okay. He wasn't awful. You know, again, the whole team in the first half near enough was quite atrocious, but individually he didn't have an awful game. He didn't do much. He didn't create anything. It was a pretty average game, which is why I've given him a 7.5. Going into the midfield, Anthony Gordon, I've given him an 8. I think, like I said, in that first half, other than Luca Dean, I think, and Richarlison, I think he looked like one of the only players that was wanting to create for Everton Football Club. He was bringing it forward. He was using his body well. He was winning fouls. He knew when he could break and take players on, and when he's just going to have to stand there and win the foul, and he done that really, really well. Certainly in the first half, like I said, probably the only player on the pitch for large part of that first half that was taking the ball forward, wanting to create something, wanting to break forward, that being direct with the ball. Nobody else, and certainly nobody else in that midfield was direct whatsoever, and nobody else is direct except Anthony Gordon, and he showed that again today. A really decent game from Anthony Gordon, and for me again, should be starting week in, week out for this football club. Tom Davies, I've gone for a 5. Again, okay. okay, he's not creative enough for me, Tom Davies. He doesn't do enough. He doesn't impact games enough. On the ball, he's not too bad. He can put together a couple of neat passes. Off the ball, he's atrocious. He doesn't know where he is. His positioning is really poor. He doesn't get first to players. He's 2 minutes late to any situation, and when we were playing a side like Southampton who were very quick with the ball, passed it very quickly, moved forward very quickly, that just simply wasn't good enough from Tom Davies. Like I said, on the ball he done okay, which is why I've given him a 5, but off the ball he just doesn't do enough, and he's not creative enough for me. But he's not a creative player. So yeah, Andre Gomez, I've gone for a 3. I thought he was absolutely atrocious in the game. Taken away from the injury, and before he went off, prior to the injury, he was dreadful. He just couldn't get his foot on the ball properly, couldn't move it out. His passing wasn't great, his movement was dreadful. Again, Southampton targeted Andre Gomez very, very, very early into the game. You could see they looked and they went, right, okay, every time he gets the ball, pressing him because he's going to rush a decision. And he did. And like I said in the instant match reaction, I don't know if Andre Gomez isn't fit. I don't know if he's just not good enough. I don't know if he's in a bad run of form. I don't know. But today, he really, really wasn't good enough. And I don't think he should play again between now and the end of the season. Because I just don't think he's playing well enough. Alex Iwobi, then I've gone for a 3 again for Iwobi. Absent. I think he touched the ball probably twice in the first half, and in the first 5 minutes he was shitting out of challenges, not wanting to get himself involved, not creative enough. And for me, if Carlo Ancelotti's going to go forward with this formation with sort of 4 across the midfield and 2 wingers and 2 central midfielders who have to sort of play a defensive role and a creative role, then I'd sell Alex Iwobi in the summer, because he just doesn't fit into this system whatsoever. He's a number 10. He fits into teams that have number 10s, that have cams that can break forward and that can impact games, and Alex Iwobi just doesn't fit into this setup at the moment. And if Carlo Ancelotti isn't looking to change that, then for me, we have to get rid in the summer and try and make some money back. Richarlison, I've gone for an 8 again. Worked his arse off, obviously scored the goal which ultimately got us the point out of the game. Really good finish, took it down really well, and the shot was fantastic as well. And again, worked his arse off pretty much the entirety of the game. Caught a couple of times, was fouled left, right and centre. I don't know how James Ward-Prowse didn't end up with a red card, never mind a yellow card in that game, because all he done was kick Richarlison for pretty much the entirety of it. But I thought Richie's work rate was top class again, got himself about the pitch, obviously produced the magic to score the goal as well. So I've given him an 8 joint with Anthony Gordon and Luca Dean. And then Dominic Calvert-Lewin a 5, sorry, not a 7, a 5. Just simply not good enough. Again, works hard, his work rate's there, but in the key areas, when the thing is with Dom is his work rate's always there, and he's always 100%, and he's always given, everything. But for me, as a natural striker, I'd like him to focus more on his finishing, and that's okay when Dominic Calvert-Lewin has a game where he doesn't get anything. There's no chances, there's no opportunities for him, and he works hard. I can sit here and say that's a 7 because he worked his arse off and he didn't get any opportunities anyway. But today, the fact of the matter is, he had a couple of opportunities. He had that one where Tom Davies chipped it over, and he should have been doing an awful lot better with it in that position. And again, I don't want his work rate to say, well, he's a 7 because he worked hard, when he's having those type of opportunities that he should be doing better with. I'm not writing him off, probably just a poor run of form, and he's probably just struggling with the restart. But a 5 for me today. Onto the bench then, Bernard, 5, done fuck all, don't really need to talk much about him. Moise Keane again, 5, done okay, had a little bit of a spell when he first came on where he took it round a couple of players, gives away a foul, which blatantly isn't a foul by the way, but then after that, pretty much didn't do much. He doesn't work as hard as Dominic Calvert-Lewin. He doesn't run around as much. He's a striker that really, really, really relies on creativity and players passing the ball to him and players getting him involved in the game, and ultimately we don't have any of that, so he doesn't flourish. Sidibe 6, thought he'd done okay defensively, provided cover, got forward a couple of times as well, a couple of decent balls, but nothing much. And then Sigurdsson a 7. I thought Sigurdsson done well, to be honest. Again, he was coming on for a poor Andre Gomez, he couldn't do much worse, but off the ball, you know what you're going to get. He doesn't give us much, but on the ball, used his feet well, made a couple of good passes, a couple of decent passes going forward as well, so I thought he'd done okay. And Ancelotti, I've gone for a 7 because, again, substitutions were okay, brought all the right players on at decent times as well, but ultimately Carlo Ancelotti can't, go out there and play himself. He can't go out there and physically force the likes of Tom Davies to get to every ball quicker than the Southampton players, the likes of Iwobi to get involved, the likes of Gomez to be there. He can't force it, and ultimately again we're going to see similar performances to this where we're overrunning the midfield consistently now until the end of the season, and until we can bring in 2 central midfielders at least in the summer, because the central midfield just isn't good enough, but we know that already. Anyway, they're my player ratings. Let me know your thoughts on them in the comment section down below. If you've enjoyed the video, please do hit the like button. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe as well. Only does take a second. We'll be back tomorrow 5:15 PM with a live game review of this game. again, another dross game to review, but we're doing it, of course. Please leave a like if you've enjoyed, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and we'll see you soon on the Mighty Blues.